It's low mackin'. Good heart, bad temper.
OJ got that juice.
All right, YouTube. We got one. I don't know if this is a good like angle for you guys, but I like it. Uh, I want to say I appreciate you guys for tuning in. We are going to be reacting to Project Helix is Xbox's biggest challenge ever from the IGN channel. Uh, I don't actually like how they worded it. That's why I paused. It says Project Helix is Xbox's biggest ever challenge. They should have said biggest challenge ever. But yeah, I ain't heard of it. I don't know what it is, but I am an Xbox fan, so let's check it out. Let's check it out.
Announcing the Xbox, the future of console gaming.
When Asha Sharma was appointed as the new CEO of Microsoft Gaming last month, she entered the Xbox stage with a bold statement. We will celebrate our roots with a renewed commitment to Xbox, starting with console, which has shaped who we are. Just weeks later, that commitment has kicked off with the official confirmation that a new Xbox is in development. Project Helix is a next-generation console that can play your Xbox and PC games. The rumours were all true then. Such a feat isn't as simple as it sounds though, and this hybrid machine has surely presented Xbox's engineering team with an Everest-grade challenge. Because when you consider the way today's technology works, it seems more likely that Helix is a PC that plays Xbox games, not the other way around.
Facts. I did hear something like this in the works in the past, but that'd be sick. I'll probably go back to Xbox. I'll probably go back to Xbox if they allow me to play other console or PC games on there. The only reason why I got a PC is because actually I probably won't go back to Xbox because will it be as powerful as this PC? Like, will I be able to do my live streams and stuff like that as I do on PC
We'll
as an
see.
Xbox? Will I be able to see? Whew, I think Xbox got a tough challenge at hand. Uh, if it's just for games and not really made for streaming, I understand it'd be cool. But if it's trying to do everything a PC can do and still stay Xbox, then it does have a challenge. But if it's just saying no, you could just play the games on Xbox that you would on PC, it is kind of like yeah. But if that's the case, then that's fine. But if that's not the case, then it's not cool. You feel me? So,
And without an incredibly
I
careful
mean, it'd be cool still. It just is probably just more difficult.
approach, Helix could become another addition to the confusing "this is an Xbox" mess, rather than a brave new console generation. Xbox has created a fascinating challenge for itself. Project Helix has to be two devices in one box. A video game console and a PC are, despite their similarities, two distinct things. And Helix needs to be both using just a single hardware setup. And that's where the difficulties start. If Helix is to play PC games without any caveats, if this Xbox is to play any and all games available on Steam, Epic Game Store, Ubisoft Connect, GOG, and any other service, rather than select games ring-fenced by the Microsoft Store, then the hardware will need to be designed with a PC-first mindset. It will need to be capable of running games designed for the PC's open, less precision-optimized environment at next-gen quality, a situation that will presumably dictate the machine's specifications. Anyone who has built a PC to run Cyberpunk 2077 at 4K 60, or perhaps in preparation for the upcoming Crimson Desert, will know that the cost of such hardware is astronomical, even more so now in the age of the AI-enforced RAM apocalypse. And anyone who has tried to build a PC comparable to a console on a console-ish budget will know that the results are typically less than inspiring. The price of Helix then is already...
I will stop and say I have not ever tried to build an Xbox. I will say I've build a PC, uh, but I've bought pre-built PCs only because I don't know a lot about PCs. Like 2024 was my first full year with a PC. or 2025. I'm sorry, was my first full year without a PC or with a PC, and I like it. I like the fact that I can live stream. Uh, I dis I dislike the fact that there's so much you can do on it, and I have no idea how to do it. If I knew how to do it all, I'd do it all, but I don't know how to do it all. So
Already a rapidly flashing red light. Plus, if Helix can play Steam games, then the machine provides no guaranteed game revenue flow back to Microsoft, and that will certainly affect Xbox's pricing strategy. The fact that Project Helix even exists in the first place suggests that Microsoft has solved the puzzle of engineering a cohesive set of hardware components that can act as both PC and console architecture, even if the cost of that flexibility means a device possibly, or even likely, priced in excess of $1,000. Helix can cater to the needs of games coded for different devices, presumably in a fashion more
they keep showing the Xbox Series One, which makes me believe that they don't even have a design. Excuse me. They don't even have a design for the Xbox or for the Helix.
advanced than just running a console emulator on PC. But regardless of whether that was an easy feat to achieve or not, the true challenge Helix faces is software. Because, in many ways, it's software that makes a machine a console, not the components within it. To be clear, when I say software, I mean operating systems, not games. Helix will require an OS that can seamlessly switch between its console and PC environments. Sort of like a modern day version of how the launch era PlayStation 3 could flip into PS2 mode. I suspect that Helix will be a little more sophisticated than having two walled off environments that it needs to hop between, but from the perspective of the user, there really can't be any difference between each side of the experience. Your Helix's library needs to be your
Think this is gonna
entire
happen. I don't know how far into the future it'll happen, but I do think it's gonna happen.
to feel identical across both sides of the platform, as does the overlay interface. It needs to be completely unified. It needs to be completely Xbox. In other words, Microsoft needs to take this stuff much more seriously than it did with the ROG Xbox Ally handhelds. While sort of marketed as handheld Xboxes, Windows 11, the Ally suffer from all the horrible little issues that anything running Windows 11 suffers. Updates, product offers, and security systems like Windows Hello all push their way up through the Xbox full screen experience, which is supposed to make the Ally feel like a console, but actually often proves an ill-fitting skin stretched over Windows 11. This absolutely can't be a thing on Helix. It can't even be a thing on
The FOV, the FOV on the handheld is poopy, and I think uh, I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't know Xbox made one of these. I know there's a Steam Deck game thing that looks like this, but I didn't know Xbox made one. But it does look fire. I just don't like the FOV. It'll give me a headache at how close and zoomed in it is. Unless you can adjust it, then it'll be, better.
half of Helix. In an ideal world, Helix would be governed by a new dedicated Xbox operating system that interfaces with both PC games and storefronts and traditional Xbox games and apps. It ideally needs to be akin to Valve's Steam OS, the system that runs the Steam Deck and the forthcoming Steam Machine, in more ways than one. SteamOS uses a compatibility layer called Proton to effectively translate PC games designed for Windows and make them work on a Linux-based machine. This is what makes using a Steam Deck feel so complete and console-like, and why, at least in my opinion, it's a better option than the Ally's Xbox layered over Windows 11 approach. The ultimate version of Helix doesn't run Windows at all, but instead has its own compatibility layer that makes games designed for Windows run on a dedicated Xbox OS.
Connected digital entertainment.
Microsoft undoubtedly has the talent and resources to make this happen. Does it have the will and conviction to, though? Why would it pump time and cash into developing this when it already has Windows, the system that every PC game is built for by default? It's not hard to believe that Helix will require you to manually switch between Windows and Xbox, the two halves bridged by Xbox full screen experience, and the PC version still cursed by all the rough edges of an OS, designed first and foremost for productivity and offices. Productivity cursed by all the rough edges of an OS.
What game is this? Holy moly.
designed first and foremost for productivity and offices. Maybe all those edges will be sanded down by the time Helix is a system we can buy. There's reason to be optimistic in that regard, as I do think Microsoft has been thinking ahead. Take a look at Game Pass, which now offers PC games at every one of its 3 tiers, instead of the old system of Xbox Game Pass versus PC Game Pass. There's no longer any chance of a Helix player subscribing to Xbox Game Pass and then being unable to play Age of Empires. But this poses wider questions about Helix's identity. When your Xbox is a PC, how do you approach playing a strategy game like Age of Empires? Will Helix ship with a mouse and keyboard by default? Will its controller feature trackpads akin to Steam's upcoming model? Will there be a software solution that automatically maps a PC game's inputs to the controller? Or will Xbox treat the PC side of Helix as something for elite enthusiasts, opening up the opportunity to sell a bunch of peripherals that are required to unlock the entire breadth of the machine's capabilities? It's hard not to be at least a little skeptical in the face of such questions. The biggest question, of course, is why anyone should buy Project Helix over a PC. What will it offer that a PC can't?
Yeah.
Will it be a better price? A better user experience? Utilize a revolutionary new version of Game Pass? These are all questions Microsoft will want to have answers prepared for the moment it properly unveils the machine. Because whatever Helix is, it certainly won't be as customizable and freely upgradable as a PC, and it presumably won't be as straightforward as Sony's next generation
Hopefully, they figure out how to stop people from cheating. From having
PlayStation
accounts.
console. As Sony's next generation PlayStation console. That leaves us with a final question. In the age of Project Helix, what is an Xbox? Last year, we were told it could be pretty much anything connected to the internet. This year, Asha Sharma began her tenure as the new CEO of Microsoft Gaming by promising a renewed commitment to Xbox, starting with console. But her console, or at least the one she's inherited, is a PC. So, what is an Xbox? I guess an Xbox is whatever it wants to be, as long as that's not just a games console, that is. If this new era has you feeling nostalgic for the past, take a walk down memory lane with our video ranking the top 100 Xbox games of all time. And for more on the future of Xbox, as well as everything else gaming, stick with IGN.
You know I will, for sure. IGN. I always watched IGN on like actual TV. Um I just I wouldn't watch it. I'd have it in the background, but I always kept like I was always like passing it or just like leaving it on in the background if I was asleep or something. It came on like channel like 100 and like 2 on Comcast when I was younger or something like that. 101, 102 or something like that. But or 98, 99, something like that. I don't know. It was around those numbers, but yeah, I've always watched IGN. I think I'm subscribed to them. So yeah, but yeah, Helix hopefully is not a bluff. It sounds like a cool concept, but like to be honest, there was a question he asked. I kind of forgot the question, but like how is it going to be different than having a PC? That was the question he asked. How is it going to be different from having a PC? You can literally do what he explained on like on PC on the Helix he was explaining. So hopefully it'll be like, yo, you won't be able to run into hackers in this one. Like get this one, you won't be able to run into hackers on it or like something sick. Because if you just put in a PC and an Xbox together, PC already did that, and you guys gave them the application for it. It's called Game Pass. So yeah, um, if that's the case, it's not gonna do the numbers y'all want it to do. But I might react to that next. If you guys enjoyed this, if you guys it's your first time hearing about a Helix from Xbox, Be sure to leave a like, comment, and sub up, and I greatly appreciate you guys. Be sure to tune in to the next one where I might react to this. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. GG's. God bless.
It's low macking. Good heart, bad temper.
OJ got that juice.